And let go of everything that happened this morning, the rush to get here. And just relax with every out breath. And enjoy the in and out of your breath. So from this quiet space within us, we visualize in front of us Shakyamuni Buddha sitting on a beautiful lotus and moon cushion, looking at each one of us with great love and compassion. So visualize that he's a live being. He's actually here, present in front of us, radiating beautiful white light onto each one of us. And surrounding him are all the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas of the 10 directions. And in front of him is His Holiness and all the other masters. And you can include any other enlightened being you wish. Surrounding us are all sentient beings, our mother and all female sentient beings on the left-hand side, and our father and all male sentient beings on the right-hand side. And then we remind ourselves about the motivation to do this practice. We struggled to get up this morning to be here so that we take this precious opportunity of this precious human life to purify all our obscurations, all the afflictive and the cognitive dirt, so that the Buddha nature that is lying dormant within us can get fully activated to benefit all sentient beings. So now we turn to page 3. And while we recite these verses, mentally invoke their profound meanings and associated experiences as best as you can. Enthused by great compassion, you taught the Immaculate Dharma to dispel all perverted views. To you, the Buddha Gautama, I pay homage. Enthused by great compassion, you taught the Immaculate Dharma to dispel all perverted views. To you, the Buddha Gautama, I pay homage. Enthused by great compassion, you taught the Immaculate Dharma to dispel all perverted views. To you, the Buddha Gautama, I pay homage. Taking refuge and generating bodhicitta in English first. I go for refuge until I'm enlightened to the Buddha, the Dharma, and the Sangha. By my accumulations of the practice of giving and so forth, may I become a Buddha to benefit all sentient beings. I go for refuge until I'm enlightened to the Buddha, the Dharma, and the Sangha. By my accumulations of the practice of giving and so forth, may I become a Buddha to benefit all sentient beings. I go for refuge until I'm enlightened to the Buddha, the Dharma, and the Sangha. By my accumulations of the practice of giving and so forth, may I become a Buddha to benefit all sentient beings. Sangye chodan sogi chognam la jangju badyu dani kyapsu chi dagi jinso gipe sognam ki drola pencher sangye drupar shog. Sangye chodan sogi chognam la jangju badyu dani kyapsu chi Dagi jinso gipe sonam ki drola pencher sangye drupar shug. Sangye chodan sogi chognam la changchu badyu dani kepsu chi. Dagi jinso gipe sonam ki drola pencher sangye drupar shug. Independent origination, there is no ceasing, no arising, no annihilation, no permanence, no coming, no going, no separateness and no sameness. I prostrate to the consummate Buddha, the supreme among all teachers, the one who taught this peace which is freed of elaborations. I prostrate to the mothers of the hearers, the Bodhisattvas and the Buddhas, which through the knowledge of all lead hearers seeking pacification to complete peace, which through the knowledge of paths causes those helping migrators to achieve the aims of the world, and through the possession of which helps subduer expound a variety of teachings. The one who has transformed into the reliable guide, motivated by altruism to benefit sentient beings, the teacher, Sugata, protector, to you I make prostrations. The one who has eliminated the web of conceptualizations and is endowed with the divine bodies of the vast and the profound, who eternally shines forth the forever noble light rays, to you, the Buddha, I make prostrations. Inspired by wisdom and compassion, today in the Buddha's presence, I generate the mind of full awakening for the benefit of all sentient beings. The essence of the dependent origination mantra. Om ye dharma hetu prabhava hetum tesham tata gato hevadat tesham chayo niroda evam vadi mahashramanaye swaha. Om ye dharma hetu prabhava hetum tesham tata gato hevadat tesham chayo niroda evam vadi mahashramanaye swaha. Om ye dharma hetu prabhava hetum tesham tata gato hevadat tesham chayo niroda evam vadi mahashramanaye swaha. Meaning of the 10 Ningpo mantra. All phenomena arise from causes. The causes are taught by the Tathagata. The cessation of the causes as well is taught by the great seer. Profound, peaceful, elaboration-free, clear light and non-composite, such is the nectar-like dharma I have discovered. Finding no one to fathom this teaching, in silence I will retire into the woods. Beyond utterance, thought, and expression is the perfection of wisdom, which is unborn, unceased, and has the nature of space. It is the object of apprehension of self-realized wisdom. To you, the mother of the Buddhas of the 3 times, I pay obeisance. The 4 seals of Buddha's teachings. All composite things are impermanent. All contaminated things are of the nature of suffering. All phenomena are of the nature of emptiness and selflessness. Transcending sorrow is peace. The Guru is the Buddha, the Guru is the Dharma, likewise the Guru is the Sangha. The Guru is the source of everything wholesome. I go for refuge in the Guru. By the sound of the vibrant drum of Dharma, you liberate all beings of miseries. I beseech you to kindly remain and give teachings until the end of the expanse of billions of eons. The Buddha does not wash the negativities of beings, nor does he remove their miseries by his hands. His spiritual realizations are not transferred to them. It is by teaching the truth of suchness that beings are liberated. With folded hands, I beseech the Buddhas of all directions to shine the light of Dharma for all bewildered in misery's gloom. Instructions on parting from the 4 attachments. If you are attached to this life, you are not a spiritual practitioner. If you are attached to samsara, you have no renunciation. If you are attached to your own self-interest, you have no bodhicitta. If there is grasping, you do not have the view. Page 14. Praise to Shakyamuni Buddha. To the founder, the endowed transcendent destroyer, the one gone beyond, the foe destroyer, the completely perfected, fully awakened being, perfect in knowledge and in good conduct, Sugata, knower of the world, supreme guide of human beings to be tamed, teacher of gods and human beings, to you, the completely and fully awakened one, the endowed, transcendent destroyer, the glorious conqueror, the subduer from the Shakya clan, I prostrate, make offerings, and go for refuge. When, O supreme amongst humans, you were born on this earth, you paced out 7 strides, then said, I am supreme in this world. To you who are wise then, I prostrate. With pure bodies, forms supremely pure, wisdom ocean like a golden mountain, fame that blazes in the 3 worlds, winner of the best, Lord, to you I prostrate. With a supreme signs, face like a spotless moon, color like gold, to you I prostrate. Dust free like you, the 3 worlds are not, incomparable wise one, to you I prostrate. The Savior having great compassion, the Founder having all understanding, the field of merit with qualities like a vast ocean, to you, the Tathagata, I prostrate. The purity that frees one from attachment, the virtue that frees one from the lower realms, the one path, the sublime pure reality, to the Dharma that pacifies, I prostrate. Those who are liberated and also show the path to liberation, the holy feel qualified with realizations, who are devoted to the moral precepts, to you, the Sangha, I prostrate. Do not commit any non-virtuous actions. Perform only perfect virtuous actions. Subdue your mind thoroughly. This is the teaching of the Buddha. A star, a visual aberration, a flame of a lamp, an illusion, a drop of dew or a bubble, a dream, a flash of lightning, a cloud. See conditioned things as such. Through these merits may sentient beings attain the rank of all-seeing, subdue the foe of false, and be delivered from samsara's ocean, perturbed by the waves of aging, sickness, and death. Page 29, the Heart Sutra. The Perfection of Wisdom Sutra. I prostrate to the Arya Triple Gem. Thus did I hear at one time. The Buddha was dwelling on massive Vulture's mountain in Rajagriha, together with a great community of monks and a great community of bodhisattvas. At that time, the Buddha was absorbed in the concentration on the categories of phenomena called profound illumination. Also at that time, the Bodhisattva Mahasattva, Arya Avalokiteshvara, looked upon the very practice of the profound illumination of wisdom and beheld those 5 aggregates also as empty of inherent nature. Then, through the power of the Buddha, the Venerable Shariputra said this to the Bodhisattva Mahasattva, Arya Avalokiteshvara. How should any child of the lineage who wishes to practice the activity of the profound perfection of wisdom train? He said that, and the Bodhisattva Mahasattva, Arya Avalokiteshvara, said this to the Venerable Sharadvati Putra. Shariputra, any son of the lineage or daughter of the lineage who wishes to practice the activity of the profound perfection of wisdom should look upon it like this, correctly and repeatedly beholding those 5 aggregates also as empty of inherent nature. Form is empty, emptiness is form. Emptiness is not other than form. Form is also not other than emptiness. In the same way, feeling, discrimination, compositional factors, and consciousness are empty. Shariputra, likewise, all phenomena are empty, without characteristic, unproduced, unceased, stainless, not without stain, not deficient, not fulfilled. Shariputra, therefore in emptiness, there is no form, no feeling, no discrimination, no compositional factors, no consciousness, no eye, no ear, no nose, no tongue, no body, no mind, no visual form, no sound, no smell, no taste, no object of touch, and no phenomenon. There is no I element, and so on, up to and including no mind element, and no mental consciousness element. There is no ignorance, no extinction of ignorance, and so on, up to and including no aging and death, and no extinction of aging and death. Similarly, there is no suffering, origination, cessation, and path. There is no exalted wisdom, no attainment, and also no non-attainment. Shariputra, therefore, because there is no attainment, bodhisattvas rely on and dwell in the perfection of wisdom, the mind without obscuration and thus without fear. Having completely passed beyond error, they reach the endpoint of nirvana. All the Buddhas who dwell in the three times also manifestly, completely awaken to unsurpassable, perfect, complete enlightenment in reliance on the perfection of wisdom. Therefore, the mantra of the perfection of wisdom, the mantra of great knowledge, the unsurpassed mantra, the mantra equal to the unequaled, the mantra that thoroughly pacifies all suffering, should be known as truth, since it is not false. The mantra of the perfection of wisdom is declared. Tayata gate gate para gate parasam gate bodhi swaha. Shariputra, the Bodhisattva Mahasattva should train in the profound perfection of wisdom like that. Then the Buddha arose from that concentration and commended the Bodhisattva Mahasattva, Arya Avalokiteshvara, saying, well said, son of the lineage. It is like that, it is like that. One should practice the profound perfection of wisdom, just as you have indicated. Even the Tathagatas rejoice. The Buddha having thus spoken, the Venerable Sharadvati Putra, the Bodhisattva Mahasattva, Arya Avalokiteshvara, those surrounding in their entirety, along with the world of gods, humans, asuras, and Gandharvas, were overjoyed and highly praised that spoken by the Buddha. This completes the Arya Bhagavati Prajnaparamita Hridaya Sutra. Tayata gate gate paragate parasamgate bodhi swaha. Tayata gate gate paragate parasamgate bodhi swaha. Teata 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 gate gate paragate parasamgate bodhi swaha. By the teachings of the three supreme jewels possessing the power of truth, may inner and outer hindrances be transformed. May they be dispelled. May they be non-existent. May they be pacified. May all negative forces opposed to the Dharma be completely pacified. May the host of 80,000 obstacles be pacified. May we be separated from problems and conditions harmful to the Dharma. May all enjoyments be in accord with the Dharma. May auspiciousness and perfect happiness pervade this place now. Page 35. 8 verses for training the mind by Geshe Langri Thangpa. With a determination to achieve the highest aim for the benefit of all sentient beings, which surpasses even the wish-fulfilling gem, may I hold them dear at all times. Whenever I interact with someone, May I view myself as the lowest amongst all, and from the very depths of my heart, respectfully hold others as superior. In all my deeds, may I probe into my mind, and as soon as mental and emotional afflictions arise, as they endanger myself and others, may I strongly confront them and avert them. When I see beings of unpleasant character and those oppressed by strong negativity and suffering, may I hold them dear, for they are rare to find, as if I have discovered a jewel treasure. When others out of jealousy treat me wrongly with abuse, slander, and scorn, may I take upon myself the defeat and offer to others the victory. When someone whom I have helped, on whom I have placed great hopes, mistreats me in extremely hurtful ways, may I regard her still as my precious teacher. In brief, may I offer benefit and joy to all my mothers, both directly and indirectly. May I quietly take upon myself all hurts and pains of my mothers. May all this remain undefiled by the stains of the 8 mundane concerns. And may I, recognizing all things as illusions, devoid of clinging, be released from bondage. Lama Tsongkhapa's Lamrim Dedication Prayer. From my 2 collections, vast as space, that I have amassed from working with effort at this practice for a great length of time, may I become the chief leading Buddha for all those whose minds' wisdom eyes blinded by ignorance. The 7 Limb Practice, excerpt from the King of Prayers, the extraordinary aspiration of the practice of Samantabhadra. I bow down to the youthful Arya Manjushri, you, the Buddhas, the lions amongst humans, gone to freedom in the present, past, and future, in the worlds of 10 directions. To all of you, with body, speech, and sincere mind, I bow down. With the energy of aspiration for the Bodhisattva way, with a sense of deep respect, and with as many bodies as atoms of the world, to all you Buddhas visualized as real, I bow down. On every particle are Buddhas numberless as particles, each amidst a host of bodhisattvas, and I am confident the sphere of all phenomena is entirely filled with Buddhas in this way, with infinite oceans of praise for you and oceans of sound from the aspects of my voice. I sing the breathtaking excellence of Buddhas and celebrate all of you Sugatas. Beautiful flowers and regal garlands, sweet music, scented oils and parasols, sparkling lights and sublime incense, I offer to you, victorious ones, the Buddhas. Fine dress and fragrant perfumes, sandalwood powder heaped high as Mount Meru, all wondrous offerings in spectacular array, I offer to you, victorious ones. With transcendent offerings, peerless and vast, with profound admiration for all the Buddhas, with strength of conviction in the Bodhisattva way, I offer and bow down to all the victorious ones. Every harmful action I have done, with my body, speech, and mind, overwhelmed by attachment, anger, and ignorance, all these I openly lay bare before you. I lift up my heart and rejoice in all the merit of the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas in 10 directions, of solitary realizers, hearers still training, and those beyond, and of all ordinary beings. You who are the bright lights of the worlds in 10 directions, who have attained the Buddha's omniscience through the stages of awakening, all you who are my guides, please turn the supreme wheel of Dharma. With palms together, I earnestly request, you who may actualize parinirvana, please stay with us for eons numberless as atoms of the world, for the happiness and well-being of all wanderers in samsara. Whatever slight merit I may have accumulated, by making prostrations, offering and confessing, rejoicing and requesting that the Buddhas stay and teach, I now dedicate all this for the full awakening of all beings. The short mandala offering. Ki ju sheng me to tra ri ra ble Genshi Ni De Gen Padi Sangye Jingdu Mikte Ulwai Drokun Namadak Jingla Chopar Cho. This ground anointed with perfume, strewn with flowers, adorned with Mount Meru, the four continents, the sun and the moon. I imagine this as a Buddha field and offer it. May all sentient beings enjoy this pure land. The four dharmas of Venerable Gompapa. May I be blessed that my mind is directed towards the dharma. May I be blessed that my dharma practice is on the proper path. May I be blessed that the path is freed of flaws. May I be blessed that the flaws are seen in the light of exalted wisdom. The four dharmas of Venerable Bhikshu Mahasattva, becoming utterly frustrated with the ignorance that grasps at true existence. Please bless me to generate genuine renunciation, seeing all aspects of samsara as viciously repulsive. Please bless me that my mind stream overflows with a precious bodhicitta that cherishes others more than myself. Please bless me to have an immaculate experience of the wisdom of emptiness that does not see even an atom of intrinsic reality, on the basis of understanding how things come into being by dependent origination through mere conditioning. Please bless me that my mind stream overflows with the precious wisdom of the non-duality of bliss and emptiness. Edam Guru Ratna Mandalaka Niryatayami. The Foundation of All Good Qualities by Lama Tsongkhapa. The foundation of all good qualities is the kind and perfect pure Guru. Correct devotion to the Guru is the root of the path. By clearly seeing this and applying great effort, please bless me to rely upon the Guru with great respect. Understanding that the precious freedom of this rebirth is found only once, is greatly meaningful and is difficult to find again. Please bless me to generate the mind that unceasingly, day and night, takes its essence. This life is as impermanent as a water bubble. Remember how quickly it decays and death comes. After death, just like a shadow follows the body, the results of virtuous and non-virtuous karmas follow. Finding firm and definite conviction in this, please bless me always to be careful, to abandon even the slightest negativity, and accomplish all virtuous deeds. Samsaric splendors are unsatisfying and unreliable. Seeking them is the door to all suffering. Recognizing these shortcomings, bless me to generate a strong wish for the bliss of liberation. Led by this pure thought, mindfulness, alertness, and great caution arise. The root of the teachings is keeping the pratimoksha vows. Please bless me to accomplish the essential practice. Just as I have fallen into the sea of samsara, so have all mother migratory beings. Please bless me to see this strained and supreme bodhicitta and bear the responsibility of freeing migratory beings. Even if I develop bodhicitta, but I don't practice the three types of morality, I will not achieve enlightenment. With my clear recognition of this, please bless me to practice the bodhisattva vows with great energy. Once I have pacified distractions to wrong objects and correctly analyzed the meaning of reality, please bless me to generate quickly within my mind stream the unified path of calm abiding and special insight. Having become a pure vessel by training in the general path, please bless me to enter the holy gateway of the fortunate ones, the supreme Vajra vehicle. At that time, the basis of accomplishing the two attainments is keeping pure vows and samaya. As I have become firmly convinced of this, please bless me to protect these vows and pledges like my life. Then, having realized the importance of the two stages, the essence of Vajrayana, by practicing with great energy, never giving up the 4 sessions. Please bless me to realize the teachings of the Holy Guru. Like that, may the Gurus who show the noble path and the spiritual friends who practice it have long lives. Please bless me to pacify completely all outer and inner hindrances. In all my lives, never separated from perfect Gurus, may I enjoy the magnificent Dharma. By completing the qualities of the stages and paths, may I quickly attain the state of Vajradhara. And now the Miksama verse, first the meaning and then the mantra. You are Avalokiteshvara, great treasure of non-referential compassion, and Manjushri, master of flawless wisdom, as well as Vajrapani, destroyer of hordes of demons without exception. Tsongkhapa, crown jewel of the sages of the land of snows. Losang Drapa, at your feet I make prostrations. Migme zewe ter chen chen rezik dreame ken pe wampo jampelyong Ganchen kepe zugen songkapa lozang drape zabla zolwade Migme zewe ter chen chen rezik dreame ken pe wampu jampelyong Ganchen kepe zugen songkapa lozang drape zabla zowade Migme zewe ter chen chen rezik dreame ken pe wampo jampelyong Ganchen kepe zugen so kapa lozang drape zabla zolwade.
Okay, thank you, Venerable Bhuttonla. Now generating the mind of consummate yoga with 4 points. The first meditation, shamatha meditation, followed by renunciation on the basis of the 4 seals, followed by bodhicitta on the basis of 4 immeasurables, then followed by the wisdom of emptiness, and then taking the aspiration bodhisattva vow. Okay, are ready? Okay. The 5 minutes. Are you ready? Okay. Next, we're going to do. Yesterday we did the 4 seals with instruction, without instruction. So today, without. Without. Do without. Okay, how many without his hands? How many with? Okay, so let's have it. Okay, I don't want to add any more words. Let's say with. So basically, we need to also learn how to be compassionate. We should be very compassionate, particularly people, when I say the majority, they are new, you should be compassionate. We have to learn the skill of compassion. Even this can be learned. Of course, as I said earlier, for example, I was saying Geshe is very senior. Otherwise, we are all juniors. So because of which, I don't know, Venerable. Otherwise, I know Venerable Vedula, but Geshe is senior. So what I'm saying is that even compassion, without compassion, the whole purpose of the Buddha's teaching is missing. You're getting it? When the compassion is missing, nothing. It's not Buddha's teachings. You may be talking about emptiness, you may be talking about the 4 seals, tantra, and all these things. They are not Buddhist teachings if compassion is missing. And you have to sense it. We have to learn how to look at things from others' shoes, not always from your shoes. If you look at things always from your shoes, right, then why the morning practices, they are not little 15 minutes later? Why early, right? And why people taking my seat? You get it? Why people sitting on my seat? So, and the bell, you should be ringing at what, 5? It rang at the 4:55. 5 minutes early, why? Or 5 minutes later, why? Right? If you look at things only from your side, you will never learn compassion. You have to learn how to look at things from others' side. Even the person who got up early, Karma Yoga, whoever that person is, who got up early, that's amazing. Appreciate it. Even 5 minutes late is fine. This person is amazing. How many people, boys and girls, they sleep just like 10 a.m., 11 a.m., 12 a.m., 12 not a.m., p.m., right? And this person gets up at 5 is amazing. Appreciate it. So don't always look at things from your side. You're getting it? So learn to see things from other sides. Then compassion will come. When compassion comes, you become a happier person. That is a Buddha's teaching. Let's not forget it. So even though you may feel that, I can do it independently, but always keep in mind that there are so many people who are new to this. For me, why I'm coming in the morning is not because I'm so happy to see you. You're getting it? Or it's not because I could not sleep in the night. So that I should get up, and so many people, they're also coming up with me. So I'm lucky I'm not alone. They're with me. Not because of that. That there are so many new people. At one point, I stopped coming to the morning sessions. Morning sessions because that I have to prepare for my classes. And yesterday we had how many classes? 6 classes. Yesterday I had 6 classes with my own personal practice. You're getting it? And this girl is saying 2. Right? This girl who is taking care of my food, saying 2. She knows it's 6. So what I'm saying is that I know that there are so many new people, and many of the new ones, because of the past imprint been activated now, they feel that this practice is so precious for me to become a happier person, to distress myself, the long run in life. So therefore, I need to practice this. How to practice it? This is the question which comes so often. So therefore, deliberately, I come here in the morning. It's not for anything else, just for us to learn how to design your daily practice for lifelong. How to design the daily practice for yourself. And if you sit together, you will see what things are being done. So that way, it's just for the sake. Always, the point is that what I'm saying is that this is something that we need to learn. In fact, it's not that I'm so good and you are being so selfish. This is not the point. When I was young, I was 20 or 21. My teacher, he was a hermit. And some of the students, Western students, they were very serious Western students. They would go to receive teaching from him because they have been knowing my teacher, being his student for several years. And they needed the translator. So they asked me, I go there. And when I sit there, and the students meaning who are already in their, I think maybe 30s or 40s, I was just 20, 21, 22. And the kind of questions that they were asking, this little boy, not little boy, young adult, he is so upset from inside. The questions are so stupid, right? Wasting the time of this great teacher. And I was so upset, disturbed. This is so easy, and why they're wasting time, right? Why they are not being to the point? Ask the question directly so that everything will be finished in like half an hour or 1 hour, and then we leave and let my teacher have his private time for his practice. Why waste a lot of time? This young boy was so restless, unpleasant, and looking at but my teacher's right here. I cannot say like, hey, don't do like this, right? So with respect, I'm just sitting quiet. It's burning inside. And then I was just watching how my teacher's managing this. Wow, it's not like every question which this young boy sees as stupid questions. Every question is answered with so much of love, care, and attention. Wow, I'm so impressed and learn from this. This is one lesson from my teacher. I should learn. So this our learn. We all can learn. It's not that I'm great, I'm learned, and you are very selfish. No, this is all what we learn. Whole purpose for our being together is to learn even how to look at things from others' shoes, not always from your shoes. Believe it or not, many of our problems are because that we look at things from our own shoes. You don't see the others. They're from the other's shoes. When you look at from only your shoes, then the other person can sense that you are very selfish. Then the person will stay away from you. They can be very diplomatic, but deep inside they will not feel connected. Whereas you learn how to see things from others' shoes, then you can see the problem there. When you see the problem there, you become very sympathetic, and then your selfishness will be dissolved. Then the other person can see your purity, your compassion. When the other person sees your compassion and how the person deals with you is very different. There's a fluidity there. It's so flexible. It's not like rigid. Okay, this is my book, right? You may not say this, but this is my book. How dare you touch my book, right? All this come when the flexibility, when the ease, when the connection is not felt. So therefore, this is what we have to learn. Learn always to see, particularly if somebody is a little senior. The junior ones is fine. Junior meaning newcomers is fine. But the seniors, you must learn how to look at things from the other's shoes. Because particularly in the group discussions, I don't know whether I mentioned this. This is one thing that I always emphasize during group discussions. The seniors. What do you mean the seniors? Those who are into this study for the last more than 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, 4 years. For those people, don't jump in to throw your questions directly, because newcomers, they will feel overwhelmed. They'll feel that they feel themselves were so insignificant. So therefore, just to make this dynamic in the group discussions flow well, and newcomers, they don't feel left out or the overwhelmed, I always jokingly tell, is part of the joke is part of the real. That these people who have many things to say, right? And then newcomers, they just remain like they're left out, they don't know anything. In fact, those who behave like this several years ago, they were themselves like this, not knowing what to say. After learning for 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, then they have a lot to say. So you just keep in mind that 2 years ago, 1 year ago, 3 years ago, I was just like these newcomers. I didn't have anything to say. Now I have many things to say. I should give the opportunity to them to speak. Let them speak. Encourage them to speak. This is your compassion. Your compassion grows. Your compassion grows, you become happier. So we should learn how to look at things from others' shoes. This is so important. And the foundation of Buddhist teachings, even if it is for the personal liberation teachings for personal liberation, if the foundation of compassion is missing, it's not the Buddha's teachings. Let's not forget it. The Buddha gave two teachings meant for personal liberation, teachings for the benefit of all sentient beings. Even for the personal liberation, for the benefit of all sentient beings, compassion is the ground. Even for the personal liberation, the Buddha very clearly indicated that compassion is the ground. If the compassion is missing, it's not Buddha's teachings. So let us be compassionate. How to be compassionate? Let us learn how to see things from the other's shoes. Are you good? So we'll do the renunciation practice. We'll have the 4 seals. Ready? Okay, so what are we doing here? Today we'll do with the instructions, and tomorrow without instructions. Okay. And just try to follow the instructions. Don't try to correlate what the instructions that you're getting now with what you've learned before, you have read before, you have experienced before. Don't try to correlate. The moment you try to correlate, at that point, then the invoking the experiences will be shut down. You can correlate, not now, later on. So now is the time to take the opportunity to invoke the experience to the best we can. At times, things can be very superficial. It doesn't matter. This is meant of the practice. So, like, keep in mind the practicing the keyboard, practicing the piano keyboard. Initially, you press the keyboard, you press the keys, you mimic the teacher. Still, there's no music. It's only noise. And then keep doing it, keep doing it, keep doing it with full heart in it. And gradually beautiful music comes out. This is meant of practice. So Dharma practice is no exception. You practice more, and gradually it'll become more and more beautiful. You could feel it. Okay. Renunciation. Renunciation is to renounce the miseries. It is not to renounce your happiness. Many people have very naive understanding. Buddhism means you have to give up your food, you have to give up your good cars, you have to give up your good things, the good house and so forth. This is total naivety. And somebody, by giving up these, you feel happier, do that. There's no problem. But it's not necessary that it should be done. What should be given up is your miseries should be given up. How to give up the miseries? How to renounce the miseries? We need to identify the causes of the miseries and renounce causes of the miseries. Ye dharma hetu prabhava, hetum desham tathagato. All these phenomena arise from causes, and the causes are taught by the Tathagata. The cessation causes as well is taught by the great seer. The cessation, how to stop the cause of the miseries, and the miseries come to an end. What are the cause of miseries? While the cause of miseries are identified as contaminated karmas, afflictions, inappropriate attention, and self-grasping ignorance. Root is self-grasping ignorance, for which we need to attend to the grosser levels of the ignorance as well. And in total, the gross and subtle in total both identified for, while there are innumerable kinds of ignorance. To eradicate these four levels of ignorance, Buddha taught the four seals. Misconceiving impermanent phenomena as permanent. Misconceiving impure things as pure. Misconceiving miseries as happiness. Misconceiving the selfless nature as of selfhood. To eradicate these four, the Buddha taught four seals, particularly the first three seals. All composite things are impermanent. Composite connotes anything which is composed of material parts and the temporal parts. Material parts like atoms, temporal parts like segments of the time. For example, today I'm very happy, or this morning I'm very happy. What this morning? This morning, 1 hour. This 1 hour I'm very happy. 1 hour is made of 60 minutes. So there are 60 segments, temporal segments to the time we call it 1 hour. So likewise, 1 minute of the time is composed of 60 seconds. Again, 60 seconds of the time within the span of 1 minute. This is the meaning of the temporal segments. So whatever is constituted of material parts or temporal parts should necessarily be impermanent. And this the impermanence, there are two kinds, the gross impermanence and subtle impermanence. It is very important for us to reflect on both. The first, gross impermanence, is impermanent phenomena whose continuum terminates or whose continuum comes to an end. For example, our youth. When young, your body is so flexible and you can eat anything. But as you grow older, the flexibility of the body disappears. And over time, even the bones, they're so brittle, you fall instantly. There's the breakage happens to your bones. Likewise, you eat anything that you eat, it harms you in one way or the other. This is where the youth stops. Youth is impermanent. And the beautiful days, time together with your parents, particularly when you are young, meaning age 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, with your parents, the most beautiful days, they all came to an end now. 200 years ago, perhaps on planet Earth, there are like 5 or 4 billion human beings. Where are these 4 billion human beings today? Not even a single being is alive. They're young ones, as young as you are, some older, some younger than you. And the parents have so much expectation from the children. And the children, they have their own plans, careers, and so forth at hand. But where are they now? Whether the plans, careers, and so forth, they're accomplished or not, they're all gone. It's impermanent. We could hardly remember these people. Only few have been remembered. Otherwise, we even don't know our own grandparents in many cases. And who are your great-grandparents? No way. What about the great-great-great-parents? Only few. 2, 3, maximum 10 or maximum 50 out of 8 billion human beings. They have a record of their great-great-grandparents, the family tree. Otherwise, for people like us, we have no even clue who our great parents were. Do you know their names? Do you know their their face? Do you remember the face? No, no way. So this is impermanence. And it's not that they are unlucky and we are very lucky that we are alive. 200 years down the lane in time, in the future, not even single 1 billion human, the 8 billion human beings that is alive today will be left then. Again, in the eyes of those people, in the memory of those people, not even a single person today, particularly here, not even a single person will be remembered. And we fight. Parents, children fight among themselves, brothers fight among themselves, sisters fight among themselves over the property, and eventually property to be handed down to your children, grandchildren, great-grandchildren. These great-grandchildren even would not know that you existed once. Even if they know you, they see you as a mummy. That's it. Mummified, body, corpse. They will see you as exhibition. They will see you as an exhibit, not as their great-grandparents. This reality is extremely sad reality. So the wise people will not waste too much time over the property fights and so forth. Rather, they will focus their attention inwardly to see that this person, over the years and over the lifetimes, to transform. So we get impermanence, gross impermanence. For this the Buddha taught, whatever is gathered disperses. Whatever is accumulated is exhausted. Whatever stands falls, and whatever is born dies. This is the reality. Oftentimes, they're abandoned villages, they're abandoned towns even. You go there, you wouldn't believe that there's such a beautiful houses. There are such beautiful houses. Go into the house, you see the kitchens, the bedroom, the dining hall, everything so intact. Nobody living there. The whole village is empty, the whole town is empty. Impermanence. How many people fought over the tiny space? The neighbors, how much they fought. Now they left everything due to pandemics, due to water shortage, or whatever reason. It's all gone. Once which is so lively, a town and city and so forth, now gone. Not even tiny, not even voice of human voice is heard there. It's so barren, haunted. This is impermanence. So to see that this impermanence is happening, the visible termination of the continuum of the object to be seen, to happen, there should be this subtler impermanence operating within, momentariness. The change that you see, for example, you are in 30s, you are in your 20s or 30s or 40s, or you may be 18. The last 10 years you've been growing. 10 years ago, 20 years ago, 30 years ago, you were just a tiny toddler, and now you're a grown up. So this change, tremendous change, the state of being a toddler is gone, is impermanent. And that from the toddler to what you are today, there was huge change. This change is possible only if the change happen on a yearly basis, which in turn is possible only if it is happening on the monthly basis, daily basis, hourly basis, minute by minute basis, second by second basis, millisecond by millisecond basis. Just don't jump to say that whatever change is happening on the gross should be changing on the millisecond basis. If you do that, sense of impermanence will not come to us. You just go step by step. Then you will feel that everything is like a vibration, moving so fast. Your body, your mind, your friends, the food that we eat, the house in which we stay, the road on which we walk, the flowers that we look at, air that we breathe, the water that we drink, the sun that we feel. Everything is moving so fast. Why we are not seeing as such under normal situation is because that our senses, they are so gross that they don't have the capacity to see this reality, subtle reality. When you see this, it's very scary. And afflictions on the many levels, afflictions will tone down on their own. By seeing that, this reality of the composite things being momentarily moving like vibrations. Okay. So if that is the case, very scary. It's as though like I'm feeling that I'm thrown in an extremely fast moving train. We don't know where this train is moving. We don't know where this train of this body, my mind is moving towards which direction. Who decides the train, movement of the train? The driver decides. If the driver is a mom, dad, very fortunate to pick the spot. But if the driver is the terrorist, or the driver is under the dictate of the terrorist, no doubt will take only to the miseries, to the slaughterhouse. So in our case, the driver is a mind. And the mind, unfortunately, it is under the dictate of the worst of the terrorist, worst of the contamination, which is self-grasping ignorance, the elaboration of self-grasping ignorance, complemented by self-centered attitude. With these two things, it will only take us to miseries. Miseries like what? Sickness, aging, death, tension, depression, anxiety, anguish. One moment of such a tragedy, the loss of near and dear ones, is good enough to nullify all the past moments of merriments, festivities, birthday parties, celebrations, holidays, and so forth. These are all so shallow, meaningless, gloomy in the eyes of one moment of such a tragedy of losing near and dear ones. Just now, this one young girl in the hospital going through a very severe surgery. Why? Because she was totally traumatized by the loss of somebody who she is so heavily dependent upon. She was so traumatized that she could not eat anything. She could not think of anything. No sleep, nothing. Now she had to go through a severe brain surgery. One pain, one moment of such a tragedy like this, what this girl went through, that's good enough to nullify all the past moments of birthday celebrations, parties, marriage, the wedding ceremonies, wedding celebrations. These are all just so hollow, shallow, meaningless in the eyes of one moment of such a tragedy. Let's not forget that. This is what the Buddha indicated as all contaminated things are suffering nature. Yes, I can understand it. When we go out in nice dress, with perfume, properly camped. But at house, we are not like this. We remove all the nice dress. We put on very casual dress because it's very comfortable. And then we may not, use all these perfumes when you're at home. And what we do outside, we don't really do that inside house because we show something different to the outside world. Inside is very different. There's so much of pain. You are facing the reality. Outside, we are putting on a facade. This is what it is. Yes. Now, inside home, I remain as true to myself. And being true to myself, think of these realities. Yes, that's very true. I agree. Life is full of miseries and pains. When will these tears stop? When will this stop? I'm tired of these. And losing. If you have no experience of that, so many of these experiences are waiting for you. Why you don't have these experiences? Because that you have been protected by your parents. You are protected by your amazing, loving family members. And they're going to leave the world one by one. Then you'll feel this pain, acute pain. When will these tears stop? They will never stop on their own. While 2023 stopped on its own, but these tears will not stop on their own. You have to, unless you put concerted effort, unless you exert a concerted effort, these tears will never stop. Agonizingly painful tears will never stop. What kind of the effort is required? Effort to counteract the root of these problems, and the root of the problems lies in self-grasping ignorance. What is the remedy? Remedy is wisdom of emptiness. What is the wisdom? What is the wisdom? Wisdom is the discerning mind whose apprehension of the object tallies with reality. And what's reality? Reality is what the Buddha indicated as the third seal, that everything is nature, emptiness, selflessness. Now that we have already learned a little bit about how to practice the wisdom of emptiness, okay, let us now meditate on this third seal, that everything is nature, emptiness, selflessness. And today we'll take, yesterday we took the flower as the object, and today we'll take the self as the object of meditation of the emptiness. Okay, what are you doing? I'm meditating. What is your body doing? My body is in meditative posture. And now tell me, how does this person who you identify as I appear to you? It's like a dream that your mind is creating it, or no, it has nothing to do with my mind. Is there so objectified and the well-defined out there? This belief is self-grasping ignorance. This is the root of the problem. Okay. How can I know that this self doesn't exist that way as object real? And if you could identify that self does exist, the self which I identify myself, I, does appear to exist so objectified and so well defined out there. If you could identify that, this suffices, or this is in lieu of the first essential identified object negation. This is to be negated. Okay, how to negate it? How do you know that this is not a valid mind? How do you evaluate that? Is for this, remember Arya Nagarjuna's teaching, who taught, if the mirage were to be water, why not those close by the mirage see water? With a similar token of reasoning, if this person who identifies I were to exist objectively, why don't I see this I as I go closer to this object? Okay, now let us go closer to this object to see if this I exists objectively or not. So this mind which goes closer to this object is known as ultimate analysis. In other words, technically speaking, we subject this self to ultimate analysis. Okay. Subjecting self to ultimate analysis, but if it's not the self, you just ignore, because you're interested to look for the ultimate objective existing self. And if it is not a self, how can it be objective existing self? Just ignore anything which is not the self in the eyes of ultimate analysis. Okay. Going closer to this object, by subjecting the self to ultimate analysis, we see a very thin layer of the skin. Of course, that is not me. Behind that, the fatty tissues. Behind that, the muscles, cartilages, and the whole skeleton. And the heart, the lungs, the liver, pancreas, intestine, stomach, gallbladder. These solid parts constitute the element of earth. And yes, none of the element of earth is me. Just forget it. Element of water, 4 liters of blood that your heart pumps in and out. Yes, of course, that is not me. Element fire, 2,600 joules of energy of your body. Of course, that is not me. Ignore this. Element of air, 4.6 liters of air that you breathe in and out through your lungs. Yes, that's not me. Element space, 99.99% of your body is vacuum space. And yet, I'm a solid person. And space vacuum in nature. Even the space is also not me. What is left now? My mind is left. My mind, they refer to as the consciousness is left, the element of mind, element of consciousness is left. If this consciousness is also not me, I'm a male, I'm a female, I'm a non-male, I'm non-female. Yet, this mind does not have a gender. Gender is posited on the basis of the body. And also that people can see me, but people cannot see my mind. So therefore, even the element of consciousness or element of mind is also not me. Okay. Do you agree with me that if this self does exist objectively, there are only two possibilities for it to exist objectively? Subjecting to ultimate analysis, either the six elements, the parts, six elements, which are the parts of the self, whatever the self, or leaving aside the six elements, there is a self that is different from the six elements. Yes. If these two are ruled out, then the self to exist objectively is ruled out. Yes, that I agree. If you agree with this, you understood the fourth seal. The fourth essential for understanding the pervasion. That anything which is empty of being intrinsically one and empty of being intrinsically different from its parts entails the emptiness or objectiveness of the object. Yes, I agree with this. Okay, now let's see if the six elements has parts, and different six elements is their self, a subject real. Okay. Subjecting self to ultimate analysis, what are you seeing now? I'm just seeing six elements. You tell me which of the six elements is self in the eyes of ultimate analysis. In the eyes of ultimate analysis, meaning intrinsically or objectively, which is the self, which is the element to be identified as intrinsically or objectively as the self. None. If you're sure of this, you've understood second essential to understand emptiness of objects being different, being intrinsic one with its parts. Okay. Now, if the parts are not to be identified as intrinsically one with the self, see if the self still exists objectively as differently from the six elements. Remove the six elements. What is left there? Nothing is left there as self. If you're sure of this, you've understood the third essential of understanding emptiness of objects being different from its part, intrinsic different from its parts. Okay, good. Now the conclusion. So now objectively what is there? Where is this self as objectively real? No way to be seen. This is the reality of the self. Reality meaning objectivity, the reality. Emptiness of objectivity of the object is the objectivity of the object. Okay, stay in this experience where the self dissolves in the experience of the emptiness in the eyes of ultimate analysis. Stay in this experience for a while. For some people, a tinge of fear can come, but for some others, tickling sensation can run through your bodies. Cold waves can run through your bodies. In some cases, extremely tranquil feeling can be felt at the core of your heart. If any of these indications happen, you're very fortunate. Just keep up. Don't be complacent that this is it. This is the dawn. This is the beginning. If you do not get this experience, don't worry. Study more, reflect more, be consistent with these studies, reflection, meditation, and soon you're bound to experience these amazing wonders. Yes, this is amazing, profound practice. But what's the benefit of this? Yes, just as this self dissolves in the experience of emptiness, all your sorrow, sickness, aging, death, tension, depression, anxiety, anguish, you subject them to this ultimate analysis, they will likewise dissolve. In other words, all your sorrows will dissolve. All your sorrows will transcend in the experience of emptiness when they are subjected to the ultimate analysis. When your sorrows dissolve, mental disturbance dissolves, the lightness will dawn in you. Feeling of lightness, feeling of peace, extreme, amazingly tranquil peace will dawn in your mind. Stay in this experience for a while. Amazing. Where the miseries are transcended and the peace dawns. Misery transcended. That experience is the experience of the nirvana, liberation. Wow. Generate very strong aspiration. May I soon experience this emptiness, that too in a very stable form. May I gain the confidence to stably remain in this experience of emptiness, where all my sorrows are transcended. This is the ultimate understanding of renunciation and the object that we aspire. Experience emptiness where all your sorrows are transcended. This is what the Buddha indicated as the fourth seal. Transcending sorrow is absolute peace. Stay in this experience for a while. And again, rekindle this experience, this aspiration. May I soon reach a time whereby I can confidently remain in this experience of emptiness where all my miseries, sorrows are transcended. This is renunciation. Fun understanding of renunciation. There are many levels of understanding of renunciation. Some are very gross. May I be freed from samsara. This is a very gross understanding of nirvana, the renunciation. It should be an experience of emptiness where all the miseries dissolve. That is a fun understanding of renunciation. Okay, slowly come out of this practice before we switch to the Bodhicitta practice. You ready? For the Bodhicitta practice, this is what I've been saying the last few days, that there are two methods, main methods. If we don't practice these two methods, real Bodhicitta will not arise within us. And if you don't have this Bodhicitta, if you don't feel this Bodhicitta, then it's a okay, I have altered out. And if you don't feel the bodhicitta, you're missing something extremely important part of your life. If you get a feel of this, you will not want to miss it. It's extremely beautiful mind. And for this is possible only with the two methods. The sevenfold cause and method generation, the sevenfold cause and effect method to generate bodhicitta, and the method of equalizing and exchange of self others. But because we have not studied these two yet, there'll be an group, and with the constraint of time, we'll do the 4 principles, and then we'll end with the bodhicitta commitment. Ready? Let us invoke the blessings of all the Buddhist Bodhisattvas who actually went through these practices of bodhicitta. And they're so happy to see that this practice, which is while it's so precious, we hardly see people practicing this. This is what the Buddhist Bodhisattvas they are feeling. It's so sad that the beings are so unwise that they in the first place, they don't meet with this teaching of the two methods to generate bodhicitta. Even if they meet, they don't really practice it. Very, very sad. But when they see you today, that you're trying to practice bodhicitta, although not complete in the form of force, the 4 principles, they're so happy. So let's invoke the blessings and encouragement, their presence with this mind. And yes, particularly this practice, it can turn out to be extremely, extremely superficial. You at times your mind may feel so resistant to say that this practice doesn't resonate with what I really feel. So don't forget what I mentioned of the practicing the keyboard, the music. Initially, no matter how much you try, there's no music, only noise comes out. Don't forget it. So when you say that it doesn't really resonate with my thinking, it's so superficial, this is a noise. We have to start from the noise and eventually make it a music. Let's not forget this. With this mind, first, immeasurable loving kindness. How good would it be that all my dear sentient beings are endowed with happiness and the causes of happiness. May all my dear sentient beings be endowed with happiness and the causes of happiness. The Buddhas and Bodhisattvas witnessing their I will take the responsibility that all my dear sentient beings beings are endowed with happiness and the cause of happiness. The Buddhist Bodhisattvas witnessing that we're making such a courageous commitment, like the mother after all the many years of going through hardship in raising her children. Today, the eldest girl, daughter, just age 12 or age 11, and likewise the eldest son, who's likewise very young, tender age. Two of them come to the mother, telling the mother, "Mother, please take rest. You have done everything for us. And you love you give us so much love and affection. We also love you so much. Now we've grown up. We'll take care of all the siblings." And the mother could not believe her eyes in years. Tears of joy run through her cheeks. This is exactly what happens to all Buddhist Bodhisattvas. They're so happy and proud of you today. And this happening and pride invoke the compassionate omniscient minds to send forth nectars of very soothing lights towards you and ultimate sentient beings. The mere touch of lights and nectars with the bodies of beings yours instills in all happiness and causes happiness within the sentient beings in yourself. And you're witnessing such miracles happening towards all of the sentient beings. You're intensely happy. Take 3 deep breaths, sigh with relief. Emotional compassion. How good would it be that all my dear sentient beings are freed from suffering and the cause of suffering? May all my dear sentient beings be freed from suffering and the cause of suffering. I will take the responsibility that all my dear sentient beings are freed from suffering and the cause of suffering. Buddhism Bodhisattvas witnessing that you're making such a courageous commitment, they're intensely happy and proud for you. This pride and happiness invoke their compassionate omniscient minds to send forth nectars of very soothing lights towards you and all sentient beings. They are mere touch lights and nectars with the bodies of beings yours, who washes up all the miseries and cause of miseries from sentient beings yourself. And you're witnessing such miracles happening towards all of the sentient beings. You're intensely happy. Take 3 deep breaths, sigh with relief. Just abiding the experience of the unconditional love which underscores all the four immeasurables. Today we do just the first 2. Just abiding the experience of unconditional love towards all the beings. Imagining that you are looking at the eyes of each of sentient beings with total love and affection embrace. To the extent that each one of them feels themselves so special in your eyes. Okay, with folded hands, we'll make a bodhicitta commitment wholeheartedly. Be it superficial is fine. So this is how we train, practice bodhicitta. May I become Buddha for the benefit of all my dear mother sentient beings. May I become Buddha for the benefit of all my dear mother sentient beings. May I become Buddha for the benefit of all my dear mother sentient beings. Just abiding in this experience of the most beautiful mind, most appealing mind in this entire universe. Slowly transform this beautiful Mother Bodhicitta into a spotless clean moon disk, 1.5 inches or 2 inches in diameter, horizontally sitting at the heart. Okay, it's amazing that we made such an amazing commitment, but remember that no matter how much you squeeze a handful of sand, no oil comes out. Yes, I know that. But I'm not like a handful of sand. I am more like a handful of sunflower seeds, squeezing away Buddhahood does come out. I have a Buddha nature within me. But if that is the case, how not that it is activated since time immemorial till now? How it is not activated? Why it is not activated till now? Yes, that's true. Till now, I'm being deceived by the true demon, self-grasping, ignorant, self-centered attitude. I thought that these two are the best of my friends. So when you have a problem with somebody else, then the anger arises within you. This self-centered attitude gives you such a false strength in you to fight. This is how these two deceive us. And today I'm disillusioned by these two. I'm going to do everything to exterminate the two demons. What am I going to do? I'm going to introduce a very powerful remedy. What is this remedy? Remedy, the wisdom of non-dual wisdom of the Arya Bodhisattvas. What is that wisdom like? This is what we have already retrieved that experience of the emptiness which we meditated as the third seal as a part of the four seals. Okay, what are you doing? I'm meditating. And how does person you identified as I appear to you? Like a dream? No. So objective, so objectified. And then the well-defined, objectified outside there. Okay. This belief is self-grasping ignorance. This is root cause of all the problems. And how do we know that this ignorance is this not valid mind? Remember what Arya Nagarjuna taught. If the mirage were to be water, one of those close by the mirage see water. With a similar tone of reasoning, if this self were to exist objectively, why don't I see the self as a guru close to the object when subject ultimate analysis? Okay, let us now subject the self to the ultimate analysis. We end up seeing the 6 elements: element earth, water, fire, air, space, and consciousness. Okay, now tell me, which of the 6 elements is identified as intrinsically, as objectively as the self? None. If you're sure of this, you've understood the second essential. Now see if the self does exist objectively as different from these 6 elements. Remove 6 elements. What's left? Nothing is left there. If you're sure of this, you have understood the third essential. Now, if these two possibilities ruled out, there's no way by which objective self can be posited. Yes, I agree. Now tell me, if you agree with this, we understood the fourth essential. Now tell me, you have to come too close to object when subjecting the self to ultimate analysis, and where is this self now, which appeared before is so objectified, solidified, well defined outside there. Where is it now? It is to my amazement. It is. I discovered that it's not there objectively. Stay in this experience for a while. Slowly transform this wisdom of emptiness into our thumb size wide vajra, vertically seated on the Madhuscara heart. Okay, that's amazing. Now you have the blaze of the non-dual bodhicittas. Moon, symbolic of the compassion bodhicitta, which is the desire or aspiration to become Buddha for the benefit of demon sentient beings. This will guarantee to exterminate the self-centered attitude. And the Vajra, symbolic of the ultimate bodhicitta, the non-dual wisdom of Arya Bodhisattvas. This will guarantee to exterminate all the methods of harmless, both afflictive and cognitive obscurations. That's amazing. Wow. But let's not forget that your two parents, your children, your family members, and all the sentient beings are suffering terribly. Yes, I agree. Invoke intense compassion towards them, wishing to help them, save them from the mires of samsara. This intense compassion that we've generated invokes the Vajramani of the heart to multiply infinite number of times. Share one set with Vajramun at the heart of your mother, one set with the heart with your father at his heart, one set with each one of family members, including children, and one with each of the staff here in Thosamling Nunnery, each of the animals, insects, hungry ghosts, hell beings, god and goddess spirits here in around Thosamling, and in India, in the world, in your own country, in the world, and all the creatures, every creature in the trillions and trillions of creatures that exist in the various oceans, in the wilderness, and in the entire universe. Everyone has to share with Vajramun from which you shared out of great compassion. Okay. So, meanwhile, let us also not forget all Buddhas, Bodhisattvas, they're watching us with they're incredible amazement. They're watching us. Why not we invite them? We invite the Buddhas, Bodhisattvas, the holy feet of the Buddhas, Bodhisattvas to be guests and the witness to undertaking the ceremony of taking the aspiration Bodhisattva vow. So I suggest you making this request of Buddhas, Bodhisattvas. Let us slowly stand up along with all demonstration beings to make 3 prostrations to all Buddhas, Bodhisattvas. Okay, please see if you can sit on your right knees. On your right knee. And if you have any problem, if anybody has a problem with your knee replacement surgery, backache problem, and so forth, then don't force yourself to sit on your knees. Instead, sit in whatever position which is comfortable. And for others who are sitting on your knees, given that it will take a little time, in between, if you feel the pain, then sit down. Don't continue to force yourself to sit in the pain. The reflections will not happen. Then the whole purpose will be defeated. In this case, after a few seconds, if you feel painful, sit down very comfortably, and then do the reflections. The reflection is the most important thing. Okay, with this in mind, now you've already invited as guests and your witness, all the Buddhas, Bodhisattvas, the witness and guests for taking the aspiring Bodhisattva vow. And just imagine that you as a little girl, age 5, and little boy, age 5, for the first time in your life, you are making public appearance on behalf of your school. And your parents, knowing that, they leave behind whatever they have to do that day to join the audience, to give you moral support, waving the hands to you, saying that we are here, we are so proud of you. And you, as a very responsible little girl, little boy, you bring all your siblings with you for this performance. So this is exactly what you're doing here. We are all like small children. And then for the first time, after all innumerable lifetimes, today, what we're doing in this retreat, or taking the aspiring Bodhisattva vow, is something that we have never done before. It is like the little girl, little boy the giving a first public appearance on behalf of the school. This is exactly what's happening today. So Buddhists might imagine that you are the one who is leading this practice and inspiring all your siblings to join you, all sentient beings as siblings to join you. And imagine that all the Buddhist Bodhisattvas, like your parents, they are just watching us and continue to send us blessings, watching us with so much of pride and happiness, joy in the mind. So with this mind, let us wholeheartedly say these verses together. Page 50, page 50. And we make sure that we reflect on the meaning. Page 50. Are you ready? I go for refuge to the triple gem. I confess the negativities individually. I rejoice in the virtues of all the beings. I hold the precious Buddha in my heart. I go for refuge to the triple gem. I confess the negativities individually. I rejoice in the virtues of all the beings. I hold the precious Buddha in my heart. I go for refuge to the triple gem. I confess the negativities individually. I rejoice in the virtues of all the beings. I hold the precious Buddha in my heart. Gurus, Buddhas, and Bodhisattvas, please pay heed to me. Just as the previous Buddhas have generated the mind of Bodhicitta, and just as they successfully dwell in the Bodhisattva practices, likewise for the benefit of all sentient beings, I will generate the mind of Bodhicitta, and likewise shall I too successfully train the Bodhisattva practices. Gurus, Buddhas, and Bodhisattvas, please pay heed to me. Just as the previous Buddhas have generated the mind of Bodhicitta, and just as they successfully dwell in the Bodhisattva practices, likewise, for the benefit of all sentient beings, I will generate the mind of Bodhicitta, and likewise shall I too successfully train in the Bodhisattva practices. Gurus, Buddhas, and Bodhisattvas, please pay heed to me. Just as the previous Buddhas have generated the mind of Bodhicitta, and just as they successfully dwell in the Bodhisattva practices, likewise for the benefit of all sentient beings, I will generate the mind of Bodhicitta, and likewise shall I too successfully train in the Bodhisattva practices. Feel the joy over having received the spiritual Bodhisattva vow. Extremely, extremely precious. Amazing precious. And just imagine that your mother, after all these many years of receiving complaint from the school principal, today when she saw the school principal coming, escorted by the teachers, again she was so worried, apprehensive. Again, what kind of complaint? This school principal says, no, we came here to congratulate you. She is smiling. School principal was in smile. Extremely gentle, compassionate, loving smile. We came here to congratulate you. What for? For what? For the reason that your daughter and your son, two of them, are appointed as the best students of this school for this year. But the mother could not believe her eyes in years. All the many years of receiving complaint. Today is something she's hearing so pleasant. Something so pleasant, so nice. This is exactly what is happening to all Buddhist Bodhisattvas. They're so happy today. All these innumerable lifetimes, they have been only wishing that we do something virtuous. We shun the non-virtues so that you will be freed from miseries. We embrace virtues so that you can embrace the happiness, maximum happiness. On the contrary, we just shun the virtues and we embrace the miseries all the time. We embrace causal miseries all the time, and therefore we suffer all the time with and deprived of the happiness. And today, what do you do? Bodhisattvas, for the first time, they were so relieved, so happy, so proud of you to see that you're doing something which they never expected that is going to happen today, and it happened. And they were so happy, proud of you, proud of what you did today. And this pride and happiness, all the Buddhist Bodhisattvas feel, invoke the Vajramoon, the full-fledged form, in the form of full-fledged form, to multiply infinite number of times. Like rain shower, they descend to merge with the one they visualize in the heart, thereby becoming non-dual, stabilized, and blessed. Likewise, all the replicas of Vajramoon from the Buddhist Bodhisattvas, like rain shower, they descend and merge with the one they visualize at the heart of your mother, at the heart of your father, at the heart of each of your family members, children, each of the beings here, the human beings, the cats, dogs, the tiny insects, spirits, hungry ghosts, hell beings, each of the creatures in the wilderness, in the oceans, in your country, in the entire universe, thereby becoming non-dual, stabilized, and blessed. Wow, that's amazing. Of all the gifts that you can think of making, giving, presenting to your dear sentient beings, this is the greatest gift, and today you have gifted this gift to all the dear sentient beings. And of all the offerings, this is best of the offerings that you can make. The Buddha himself declared, one moment of practicing compassion far excels the gifts of the whole universe filled with gems and offered to all the Buddha's bodhisattvas. If this were to be the case, what I mentioned of our having taken the aspiration bodhisattva vow, today you've made the greatest of offerings, and with your life, this is the greatest of the meaning, and you have given such meaning to your life today. And all these wonders happen because of the blessings and the kindness of the Buddhist bodhisattvas. Again, as a gesture of thanking the Buddhist bodhisattvas, let us slowly stand up along with all the sentient beings to make 3 prostrations to all the Buddhist bodhisattvas. Okay, please take your seats. Now let us turn to page 51. Remember what we learned yesterday, that this beautiful practice, the beautiful purpose of this practice, the bodhicitta, wisdom and emptiness, and taking the aspiration bodhisattva vow. So we are very lucky that we meet with this teaching in this life. Then what about next life? So for that, 2 things required. What are they? 1, to meet with the teaching. Number 2, to practice. Anyone else? Embrace it. Aspiration prayers, meaning there are 2 things. 1, to meet with the Dharma. Number 2, not separate with it. Yes, there is connection. And then, intense practice. You're getting it? So I give the example of, say for example, like the people born in the Buddhist countries. They're born, they're all connected. But how many they are seriously practicing? So less. So the intense practice, that is missing. When that is missing, then the Buddhahood, the bodhicitta awakening, Buddha nature awakening will not happen. We continue to suffer. So for that we require intense practice. So 1, to meet with the Dharma, and then intense practice which comes from joy. You're getting it? So how to make the connection in the next lives, connection with Dharma in the next lives, is by including very powerful prayers, number 1. Then number 2, creating conducive factors for other people to practice, encouraging others to also engage in the practice of bodhicitta, wisdom, and so forth, rather than holding grudge, jealousy, and so forth. You encourage others, you rejoice in others in engaging these practices, and then include them in a very powerful practice. So these practice. The gestures will make sure that you come in contact with the Dharma in the next life, with this Dharma in the next life. Then, to really say to take advantage of this, to take full advantage of this meeting with the Dharma, that you intensely go into this practice, it should be accompanied with the joy. Joyous practice. There should be joy there. So how to feel the joy is by connecting joy with this practice. By reading the same, you have to connect. Somehow you have to connect it. And these verses that we're reading, these are from the Guide to the Buddhist Way of Life by Bodhisattva Shantideva, for us to conjoin the two, bodhicitta, wisdom, emptiness, with the feeling of joy. So in your next life, you hear the bodhicitta instant, joy is pulled, joy is triggered. The example that I gave you was, sometimes with some smell, it takes you back in your childhood, with your time with your mother and so forth, and it makes you to move into tears. Just the smell. The smell is nothing, but the smell is very precious for you, because it connects you with your time with your mother when you were so vulnerable. So disconnected, and then even though you're not deliberately thinking about your mother, this smell comes and instant automatically that thought comes. Likewise, hear the word bodhicitta, the instant joy comes. When joy comes, then whatever you do, you just want to sustain it, and you do it with high quality. So that is the one which will make your Dharma practice very effective. Okay, with this in mind, page 51. Page 51. Throughout my future lifetimes, may I always be guided by the compassionate Buddha and be able to uphold the true precious bodhicittas even at the cost of my life. Throughout my future lifetimes, may I always be guided by the compassionate Buddha and be able to uphold the true precious bodhicittas even at the cost of my life. Throughout my future lifetimes, may I always be guided by the compassionate Buddha and be able to uphold the true precious bodhicittas even at the cost of my life. In order to further increase this bodhicitta from now on, those with discernment who have lucidly seized and awakened the mind of bodhicitta in this way should highly praise it in the following manner. Today my life is borne fruit. Having well obtained this human existence, I have been born in the family of the Buddha, and now am one of Buddha's children. Thus, whatever actions I do from now on must be in accord with the family. Never shall a disgrace or pollute this noble and unsullied race. Just like a blind man discovering a jewel in the heap of rubbish, likewise by some coincidence an awakened mind has been born within me. It is the supreme ambrosia that overcomes the sovereignty of death. It is the inexhaustible treasure that eliminates all the poverty in the world. It is the supreme medicine that quells the world's disease. It is the tree that shelters all beings wandering and tired on the path of conditioned existence. It is the universal bridge that leads to freedom from unhappy states of birth. It is the dawning moon of the mind that dispels the torment of disturbing conceptions. It is the great sun that finally removes the misty ignorance of the world. It is the quintessential butter from the churning of the milk of Dharma. For all those guests traveling on the path of conditioned existence who wish to experience the boundless happiness, this will satisfy them with joy and actually place them in supreme bliss. Today, in the presence of all the protectors, I invite the world to be guests at a festival of temporary and ultimate delight. May gods, demigods, and all be joyful. Dedication prayer. I dedicate the marriage thus gathered towards the realization that is in the prayers of Buddhas and Bodhisattvas of three times. Doctrine, scripture, and insight, and in all life through the force of this merit, never separate from the four wheels of the Mahayana vehicle, and accomplish all the stages of the path, renunciation, bodhicitta, perfect way in the two stages. From my two collections, vast the space that I've amassed, from working with effort in this practice for a great length of time, may I become the chief leading Buddha for all those whose minds, wisdom, eyes, blinded by ignorance. Teta Om Gate Gate Paragate Parasamgate Bodhiswaha Teta Om Gate Gate Paragate Parasamgate Bodhisvatyata Om Gate Gate Paragate Parasamgate Bodhisvaha. Three persistence together.